Hey, good evening, all. Thanks for joining me, Dorothea, on Through an Orthodox Christian Lens. I just have a quick update for you, just to let you know I'm still aware of what's going on in the news. It seems like the same old, and I didn't feel like adding too much to what everybody I'm listening to is already doing. I just wanted to point out that I'm aware of what's happened with all the drone attacks in Ukraine and Russia back and forth. Because last weekend I think Ukraine sent nearly 1,000 drones into Russia, and some I think even reached Moscow, but it did go into Russia. And then what happened was that President Putin was in his helicopter to go down to Kursk. I think he was going to talk to some of the soldiers there, and he almost his helicopter almost got hit by a drone. So there was an assassination attempt there, as they believe, although they said maybe it was a mistake or whatever. But a lot of networks are not reporting on this past few days that this happened. Now, Trump has been very idiotic the past several days after he had that 2-hour talk with President Putin, and then he's upset because I was on the phone with him. He was sending, shooting up, bombing cities and killing all these people, not just soldiers and all this. This was after the assassination attempt on Putin's life. It was a retaliation to all the, nearly 1,000 drones that were sent and attacked Russia before that. And so what happened was they were retaliating and doing likewise with their drones, getting rid of, basically bombing drone factories and all that stuff. So, as usual, he went on this long rant on his Truth Social about, I don't know what's happened to him. He's been crazy. Well, it's because, again, we're back to is Trump dumber than a stump, or is it he's not being briefed on what's going on in this? And I think most people are leaning towards he's not being briefed on this by whoever it is that's supposed to be briefing him. That is a concern because, we don't want that to be happening again. I think that even happened in his first term as well. But in any case, he seems to be, they're trying to come up with this new deal between Ukraine and Russia, some kind of memorandum they're supposed to have exchanged with each other. Instead, I heard on Alex Christopherou's show today that General Kellogg, as usual, opened his big mouth and was saying, Ukraine has sent us a memorandum, and so we're waiting for Russia's. So then Ukraine had to rush over and we'll get that together. They hadn't really done it, but they were going to do it now. And, this guy, somebody needs to shut that guy up, I think it was Alex who actually said that yesterday. He needs to go. In any case, they're working on, I think Russia has 4 more days, and of course they're going to make it look, Ukraine's like, Russia, they have so many days left, they better hurry up, as if it's Russia's problem. This wasn't what they agreed to. They agreed to meet in Istanbul once again, apparently, and I think what they said is Trump was actually going to be there. I don't know. We'll see what happens this time. I think it's pretty obvious by the escalation in attacks in this war between Russia and Ukraine, especially on Russia's side, that Russia's maybe just tired of this whole thing. You have Merz from Germany talking about his Taurus missiles that are going to be, that he's giving to Ukraine, and apparently I think they're already there. And of course, Lavrov said, and I think some other Russian official said, if these Taurus missiles are fired into Russia, that they will have to respond in hitting back, hitting in Berlin. So I think Merz finally stepped back a little bit, but these people don't seem to have any pause or reverse button. It's really stupid. So, and then Trump went on about, again, he even though a reporter had brought up the assassination attempt of that drone attack on Putin's helicopter, and he said, "Oh, I hadn't heard that, but I guess that may have been a reason why he reacted that way." Well, no kidding, as Larry Johnson said, "Well, no kidding," you know. But even after that, even after he was told that, he goes on Truth Social later and says, "You know, if it wasn't for me, you know, you'd be in, you know, worse things would have happened if it wasn't for me." As if he's protecting Putin, and everything that has happened for the good is because of Donald J. Trump. Now, of course, we know that he, in his first term, gave those javelins. He was bragging about giving the javelins to Ukraine. And, I mean, he wasn't really totally paying attention in his first term what was going on in Ukraine and between Ukraine and Russia. But the point is, he was involved in that. As a lot of people keep saying, he's not a neutral actor in this. He's part of the problem. He thinks he's trying to help in this, but I don't know. I don't understand why he can't figure this out. Either he's really totally stupid or naive, or he's just lying or making up something. I don't know. But anyway, he's just been acting like a 5-year-old kid lately, whining over things. Now I think he's doing a little bit better on his the Middle East issue, that he keeps trying to work with Iran on a deal. At least he's trying to. He's already told Netanyahu, "Would you hold off on bombing Iran, because we're trying to work this thing out now." We don't know if Netanyahu's going to listen. I mean, has he ever really listened? But that's what he's saying. Don't do anything. We're trying to work out these deals. I don't know how many times. This is like the fourth talk, or I don't remember. Second, fourth, with the Iranian negotiated with between, and I think it was in Qatar and all that. Well, they were working on a ceasefire with Gaza, trying to get food into Gaza. I mean, last time I spoke to you, I think they supposedly allowed 5 trucks, or was it 9? But it really only just came out to be 5. I mean, they're just trickling in. They're not. It's really just unbelievable what's going on in that. We're living in a era. We're living in a time right now where we're seeing a genocide on a whole group of people, millions of people, in a small swath of a land, and it's really sad. I just don't understand how anybody could still be standing for Israel in this. I really just don't. I don't see how you could be cheering on the death of innocents, babies, children, women, I mean, we see that all the time. So it's still not doing well there. I'm going to give you a little bit of information on that. Let's see. I'm going to go to why did I go to that first? I'm going to go to this first. This was something that Alistair Crook put on his Substack, and it's just a little snapshot here on the 26th of May. Can Netanyahu survive the political hurricane until 2026? I think, oh, by the way, he's going into emergency surgery for something. They're not really explaining what it is. Somebody else is going to fill in, according to Mahmoud. His channel reported on that. So, don't know. We know that he has prostate cancer. He's had it for a while, but we'll see on that. I'm just going to give you a few of these headlines. Attorney General Baharav Miara: Israeli regime change is accelerating before our eyes. This is the reality we live in. So he says, under the auspices of the war, the regime change has accelerated greatly. This isn't a warning about the future, it's the reality we live in, changing rapidly before our eyes. There is a major weakening of democratic institutions. The ongoing damage to the judiciary and its erosion are particularly dangerous. Netanyahu will not stop until there is civil war. As you know, there's a lot of infighting going on. War within us. We are watching the fire here with us. The burning of Israeli democracy. They're saying this. I heard yesterday, the day before, that IDF soldiers were beating on each other, nearly killed each other. Well, what do you expect? Their psyche has to be a mess, considering all the women and children they've killed, and, innocents and babies. So that's what's going on there. And the other thing is this horrible deal from Middle East Monitor. This is the most recent article that just came up when I opened it earlier. 10% of Palestinians in Gaza have been killed, injured, missing, or detained. Israeli occupation forces killed 10 starving Palestinians and injured 62 more over 2 days while they gathered in Rafah to receive humanitarian aid, a senior Gaza government official said yesterday. Now, I haven't been looking too closely to this because it's been too upsetting for me to continue to look at, because it's just too upsetting to continue to look at that. In any case, regarding Trump, just I have been following stuff. I don't know how much I'm going to continue to report on this Gaza thing. It's just so upsetting. It's hard for me to continue on that. I'm tired of the Trump mess. I'm tired of his it's up and down. It's a mess, and I don't always follow every single story out there. I don't always put out everything that's happening every day and every hour, like the 24-hour news does, because I don't feel like some of it is really necessary to report for me. I just don't have that much of an interest in it, or I don't feel like it's something, it's kind of petty. I won't get into it. In any case, regarding Trump's big, beautiful bill. Well, I've heard a lot of things on that. Massive spending. He wants to spend $1 trillion or $170 billion on this Iron Dome, kind of, but he's calling it a Golden Dome. A replica of basically the Israeli one, which isn't really working anymore against the newer weapons that the Yemenis and the Houthis and Iran have shot into Israel. Went right through their shield. I think it's a waste of money. we had all this money saved by Doge and now it's gone because, oh yeah, let's figure out what's going on there. Oh, we waste, fraud, and abuse. Well, we're going to collect all that money. Not anymore. We've lost it in this scandalous, just ridiculous, outrageous amount of like $1 trillion defense budget. I remember just 2 months ago that President Trump was talking about cutting the defense budget in half. So much for that. I guess, the military-industrial complex, the war machine, isn't going to allow him to do that. He can't seem to push through that. In any case, as you can see, I'm just getting out my frustrations tonight. I also wanted to say that, as much as I complain about Trump and his crazy cabinet, I still think it would have been worse with Kamala in office. I really think that he's a little bit better than her because I really think we would have been in a nuclear war by now, and many other insane things could have happened under her. So when I complain, but I can complain because I voted, and I'm gonna say whatever good or bad on somebody. I'm not beholden to one of these people because I have convictions and I have principles and I have certain things I believe in. So I go by that, and I don't go by a party, a tribe, what other people say, a team. In any case, that's what I wanted to share with you today. For right now, I'm probably going to have a post later on about something else that's a mixture of AI tech stuff and through my spiritual orthodox lens on that, an article on that, and I will share that with you later. Thanks so much for watching. Please follow my channel, like my videos if you like them, comment on them if you would. Share my channel, share my videos. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Rumble, and thanks so much for your support, and I hope you're having a great evening. Until next